Good evening, my Real News Midday TV family. Welcome back to the channel for another news update. And in the news this evening, Clarendon man turns himself over to police after breaking into home and destroying property. A mason who turned himself into the police after he allegedly entered a man's home in Chateau District, Clarendon, and destroyed items valued at $20,000 following an altercation on Sunday has been charged. Charged with burglary and the malicious destruction of property is 38-year-old Andrew Baker of Chateau District in the parish. It is reported that Baker and a man were at a party when a dispute developed between them, which escalated into a fight. After the fight, Baker reportedly went to the man's house, kicked the front door open, and destroyed the items valuing $20,000. A report was made to the police, and Baker later turned himself in and was subsequently charged. His court date is being finalized. Kingston men charged with robbery with aggravation. Detectives assigned to the Kingston Central Police Division have charged the two men with robbery with aggravation following an incident on Ocean Boulevard in the parish on Friday, December 13. Charged are 33-year-old Dennis Walton, a fisherman of Regent Street, Kingston, and a 64-year-old Glenmore Mundy of a Kingston address. Reports from the Kingston Central Police are that about 3:30 p.m., Walton and Mundy allegedly pounced upon two men as they left their workplace and stole $1,000 from each of them. During their escape, they were intercepted by police and were subsequently arrested and charged. Their court dates are being finalized. Police called to yet another dead dog seen in Mandeville. For the second time in 3 weeks, the remains of a dog have been mistaken for human remains in Manchester. On Monday about 9 a.m., residents called the police to Tangerine Drive, where they stumbled upon what they believed were human remains wrapped in a sheet. However, when investigators turned up and unwrapped it, they discovered that it was the remains of a dog. Similarly, on December 3, detectives were called to Spice Grove in northwest Manchester after residents there believed the remains, which were wrapped in a carpet, were human. However, police discovered that it was that of a larger dog. Remains found wrapped in carpet was a dog, police say. President of the Ingleside Citizens Association, Marvin Johnson, said residents are understandably concerned due to the fear of crime. I quite understand the concern about the rumor that a body was found. One was found recently, and it turned out that it wasn't a foul play, he said. People have been using that area as dumping ground for animals, and the place is very much bushed up, and all that, he added. On January 31, the body of Colin Watts, 52, a land surveyor and a resident of Hanbury near Ingleside, was found on Tangerine Drive. Two charged over fatal gun attack on persons playing game of dominoes in St. Andrew community. An 18-year-old is among two males charged for the November gun attack on persons playing a game of dominoes in Happy Grove District in St. Andrew that left two men dead. Charged with murder, conspiracy to commit murder, possession of a prohibited weapon, and unauthorized possession of ammunition are 18-year-old Raymond Mighty, otherwise called the Brown Man, of Mark Lane, Kingston, and 23-year-old Reggie McCreath, otherwise called Roger, of Happy Grove District. Killed were 25-year-old Hobo Duncan, a laborer, and 44-year-old Ryan Webb, a welder, both of Gusterman District in Happy Grove. Reports from the Hunts Bay Police are that about 11:05 p.m., Duncan and Webb were among a group of individuals playing dominoes in the community when they were pounced upon by two armed men on foot who opened a gunfire, hitting both men. The police were alerted, and upon their arrival, the men were seen with gunshot wounds. They were assisted to hospital, where they died while undergoing treatment. On Friday, December 20, McCreath and Mighty were positively identified and subsequently charged, following an identification parade as the men involved in the incident. The St. Andrew South Police Division remains committed to ensuring justice for the victims and their families and encourages anyone with further information about this incident or any other crime to contact the nearest police station or Crime Stop at 311. Opposition chides Chang for revealing many Jamaica Eye cameras out of service. Opposition spokesman on technology, Dr. Andre Horton, has chided National Security Minister Dr. Harris Chang for publicly announcing that many cameras under the Jamaica Eye surveillance system are not functioning, saying the revelation could compromise the safety of Jamaicans and embolden criminals. Speaking with the news on Monday, Dr. Horton argued that Dr. Chang should have waited to repair and restore the cameras before informing the public that most of the 1,000 cameras are down. He is again urging the government to conduct an audit to assess the operational status of all Jamaica Eye cameras and to launch an emergency maintenance program to restore their functionality.
Now more than ever, Jamaicans are counting on the government, they're counting on us as leaders to ensure that we do what is right to assist them to become safe and remain safe. And that's very important. The criminals are out there, they are opportunistic, and now that they know that much of the camera system is down, they are even going to be braver than they were before. So we have to take this situation very serious, and we have to make sure that we put the measures in place to ensure that Jamaicans feel safe.
Any Privy Council challenge of DPP Llewellyn's tenure unlikely to be successful, says attorney. Attorney Nico Pagan says that there is no concern of a successful challenge if the parliamentary opposition decides to take their arguments concerning the constitutional changes in the retirement ages for the Director of Public Prosecutions and the Auditor General to the Privy Council. Mr. Pagan was one of the attorneys who represented the government in its Court of Appeal challenge against the Constitutional Court's ruling in April. The court ruled in favor of the government on Friday, stating that the lower court was wrong to rule that one of the constitutional changes rushed through Parliament last year regarding retirement ages did not apply to Paul Llewellyn. The opposition has said it is awaiting the written judgment of the court before deciding its next step. Speaking Monday with the news, Mr. Pagan said all matters of concern have been addressed by both courts.
Because, as I've said before, in the court below, the government substantively won on all major points. There was no breach of separation of powers. There was no improper purpose for the passing of legislation. The only issue that the Supreme Court did not find favor with was that whether or not the legislation applied to the incumbent DPP, and that position has since been clarified by the Court of Appeals. At the center of it is a public servant who dedicated all her working life to the government and to the people of Jamaica. And by government, I mean successively, in the sense of prosecuting without fear or favor, and serve diligently. And to get her long service wrapped up in politics is rather unfortunate. The system allows for a person to act while the incumbent is either on leave or incapable of acting, and so it's really a matter of internal processes to follow, to have whatever instrument revoked perhaps, and the DPP returned.
Thank you everyone for watching. See you tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. for another news update.